Shed from Shed All Over the Page. I'm working on an older Procraft bass boat. It's 1987 model, but I mean it's in really good shape. No complaints. And what happened is the plastic at this age is starting to degrade where it's over the years, set out in the sun. It's been garage kept, but it's set out in the sun, and plastic over time degrades down and breaks. So I've had a couple of the bilge pumps, you could just touch them and they just cracked and broke. So I got in there and kind of reworked everything. Well, I've taken this part over really a couple of months. Start doing this, another project comes in. Well, I went to hook the trolling motor up, and this is a 12 or 24 volt trolling motor, so I wanted to make sure that it worked, and it didn't. I had 12 volt on both sides because there's a switch right here. It says 12 or 24, and it didn't matter what it did. They were both 12, 24. So if you look under here, you've got a loud rooster that says 12 or 24 volt negative. Then you got 12 volt positive, 24 volt positive. So I'd taken things apart and put it back together more logically. He's noisy. More logically than I should have. And so I just wanted to test it, and it didn't work. And the problem was I had the batteries hooked up in what is called parallel, which means there's two 12 volt batteries here, and I had them hooked up in parallel, which means they were two 12 volt batteries. I needed them hooked up into series, so there's 12 volt or 24 volt. So let me show you what I did was my mistake. And the way I had it rigged up is it was negative and negative to this mounting block, and then positive to this block and positive to this block. For it to be in series, it goes from negative on this terminal to positive on that terminal. So this positive line goes to the block and feeds all the way up to the trolling motor. This negative goes to the block, feeds all the way up to the trolling motor. And then this one over here, because it's in series now, it feeds up, and that's my 24 volt side. So that puts them in series. So you end up with a negative hooked to a positive on two different batteries. So let's see if we can get this to work without being too big a pain. So if we come into this side here, that's the 12 volt leg. Find the right sweet spot there. And that's the 24 volt leg. Get this pile of junk out of the way. And then this plugs in, and that's the ground. There's the ground terminal. That's the 12 volt. That's the 24 volt. So I've got on 12 volt. And then by flipping the switch to 24 volt, we bet a difference. So this is where kind of to the younger guys, because when I was a young guy, I'd start tearing crap apart, and sometimes it was just one wire on the wrong lug, and it's where I haven't been in here in a couple months. not something I do every day. So before you start, tearing your switches out from under here, or tearing this out up under here, think about what you may have done that could have created the situation. And all it was moving one wire, which changed it from being two 12-volt batteries in parallel to two 12-volt batteries in series, which gives you 12 and 24-volt circuit. Shed off the page.